Picture this: a hot, dusty land where the sun beats down mercilessly on thousands of people working under the blazing heat. Their backs ache, their hands bleed, and their hearts are broken. They are slaves, and they have been slaves for 400 long, painful years. These people are called Israelites. They came to Egypt long ago when there was no food in their homeland. The king of Egypt welcomed them then, but now there is a new king, and he is afraid of them. So afraid that he makes them work harder and harder and harder. He even kills their baby boys. The Israelites cry out to God. They beg him, they plead with him to save them. And God hears their cries. Far away in the desert, a man named Moses is taking care of sheep. He is 80 years old. His hair is white, and his face is wrinkled by the sun. Just an ordinary shepherd, living an ordinary life. But then, suddenly, he sees something amazing. A bush is on fire, but it doesn't burn up. The flames dance and flicker, but the bush stays green and alive. Moses walks closer, his heart pounding. Then, he hears a voice, deep, powerful, loving. It is God speaking from the burning bush. Moses, I have seen my people suffering in Egypt. I have heard their cries. I have felt their pain. I want you to go to the king. Tell him to let my people go free. Moses is terrified. I will be with you, Moses. Take your brother Aaron. He will help you speak. Now go, and do not be afraid. Moses and Aaron walk slowly, nervously toward the great palace of Egypt. Moses stands before the throne, his voice shaking as he speaks. The God of Israel says, "Let my people go." The king's laughter booms through the palace, cold, mocking, cruel. Who is this God of yours? I don't know him. I am the king of Egypt. I am a God. I will not let the slaves go. They belong to me. Instead of freeing the people, the king makes them work even harder. Now they must make bricks without straw, impossible work. Moses prays to God, his heart breaking. Lord, why did you send me? Nothing has changed. Everything is worse. God's answer rumbles like thunder. Watch what I will do, Moses. The king will not just let you go. He will throw you out of Egypt. Moses and Aaron return to the king. Aaron throws his walking stick on the ground and whoosh! It becomes a snake. A real, living, hissing snake. The king's magicians smirk and do the same trick. But then, Aaron's snake opens its mouth wide and swallows all their snakes. God is just getting started. The next morning, the king goes to the great river, the mighty Nile. All of Egypt depends on this river. It gives them water to drink, fish to eat, and life itself. Moses and Aaron meet the king at the water's edge. The morning sun sparkles on the water. Aaron lifts his stick high in the air and strikes the water with a mighty blow. Splash! The water turns red. Not just red like mud, but red like blood. Real, thick, sticky blood. The fish float to the surface, dead and rotting. The river smells terrible, putrid, disgusting. For 7 long days, the river stays blood red. Then slowly, it becomes normal again. Aaron stretches his hand over the water once more. Suddenly, frogs start jumping out. Not just a few frogs, but millions and millions of frogs. They hop into the king's bedroom. They jump in his bed. They leap into the kitchen and sit in the cooking pots. They fill the streets, the houses, the temples. You can't walk without stepping on frogs. The king calls for Moses urgently. Pray to your God, make the frogs go away. I will let your people go, I promise. Moses prays, and instantly, all the frogs die at once. Every single one. The Egyptians pile them up in huge, smelly heaps that rot in the sun. But when the king sees the frogs are gone, he changes his mind again. I will not let them go, he says firmly. Aaron hits the ground with his stick. The dust rises up like a cloud and becomes millions of tiny bugs, gnats that bite and sting. They crawl on people's faces, in their hair, up their noses. No one can escape them. The king's magicians try desperately to make bugs too, but they can't. They fail completely. But the king won't listen. His heart is as hard as stone. Now God sends swarms of flies, billions of them. They buzz and bite and swarm everywhere. They cover the food, they fill the air like black, moving clouds. But something amazing happens, something that makes everyone gasp. No flies go where the Israelites live, not even one tiny fly. The flies only bother the Egyptians. The king sees this miracle and tries to make a deal. Okay, your people can pray to their God, but they must stay in Egypt. Moses stands firm. No deal. We must leave Egypt completely. When the flies disappear, the king changes his mind again. God sends a terrible sickness to all the Egyptian animals. Every horse, every cow, every sheep, every camel starts dying. They drop dead in the fields, in the barns, everywhere. But not one animal belonging to the Israelites gets sick. Not one. The king sends his men to check. They come back amazed and frightened. Every Egyptian animal is dead, they report, but every Israelite animal is perfectly healthy. Still, incredibly, the king won't let the people go. Moses takes ashes from a fire and throws them high up in the air. The ashes become like powder that drifts over all of Egypt, settling on everything. Wherever the powder touches, painful sores break out. Ugly, burning, agonizing sores. The sores cover people's skin and the animals that are still alive. Even the king's magicians have sores all over their bodies. They are in too much pain to even stand up. But the king's heart, his heart is still hard as granite. God speaks to Moses with a warning. Tell the king that tomorrow I will send hail like Egypt has never seen. Anyone who stays outside will die. The next day, the sky turns black as midnight. Thunder roars like 1,000 lions. Lightning flashes like giant swords slicing through the darkness. Then hail starts falling. But this is not normal hail. The hailstones are huge, like rocks falling from heaven. The hail destroys everything. It kills people and animals caught outside. It smashes all the crops, breaks the trees, turns the land into a wasteland. But in the part of Egypt where the Israelites live, not one hailstone falls, not one. The king is terrified, shaking like a leaf. He calls for Moses quickly. I have sinned. Your God is right and I am wrong. Pray for me. Stop this terrible storm. I will let your people go. I swear it. Moses prays and immediately the hail stops. The thunder stops. The lightning stops. Silence. But when the king sees the storm is over, he changes his mind again. Even the king's own servants beg him, falling on their knees. Let these people go. Don't you see that Egypt is destroyed? There's nothing left. But the king is too proud, too stubborn. He tries to make another deal. Only the men can go, he says. Moses shakes his head. No. Everyone goes or no one goes. The king's face turns red with rage. Get out of my sight. The next day, a wind blows from the east, hot, strong, relentless. It brings clouds of locusts, so many locusts that they block out the sun. The land becomes dark at noon. The locusts eat everything green, every plant, every tree. When they finish, Egypt looks like a barren desert. The king calls for Moses in panic, his voice breaking. I have sinned against your God and against you. Forgive me. Pray to your God to take away these locusts. Moses prays, and a strong wind blows the locusts away, every single one. But the king's heart, still hard. For 3 days, thick darkness covers Egypt. Darkness so thick you can touch it. People can't see their hands in front of their faces. They can't move from where they are, frozen in terror. But in the homes of the Israelites, there is light. Beautiful, warm, comforting light. The king calls Moses one final time, his voice desperate. Go, take your families, just leave your animals behind. Moses looks at him with steel in his eyes. No, we take everything. Every person, every animal. Not even one hoof stays behind. The king explodes with fury. Get out. Don't ever come back. If I see your face again, you will die. Moses says calmly, quietly, "You're right, king. You will never see my face again." The final warning. Moses gathers all the Israelites, his voice serious and heavy. God will send one more plague, the last one. This one will be the worst of all. After this, the king will not just let us go. He will beg us to leave. The crowd is silent, waiting. At midnight, God will pass through Egypt. Every firstborn son will die, from the king's son to the poorest servant's son. Even the firstborn animals will die. The people gasp. Mothers clutch their children. But, Moses continues, his voice rising with hope, God will protect us. Each family must kill a perfect lamb. Put the blood on your doorframe, on the top and on both sides. When God sees the blood, he will pass over your house. Your children will be safe. Cook the lamb and eat it quickly. Be ready to leave Egypt tonight. Pack your things, prepare your hearts. This is the night we become free. The night of freedom. As the sun sets, painting the sky red and gold, every Israelite family kills a perfect lamb. They dip a branch in the blood and carefully paint it on their doorframe, top and sides. Children ask with wide eyes, "Why are we doing this, Father?" The fathers answer solemnly, "So the angel of death will pass over our house. The blood will save us." All night, the families wait. They eat the lamb with bitter herbs, remembering their slavery. They pack their belongings, their hearts pounding with excitement and fear. They are ready to run toward freedom. At midnight, God passes through Egypt. In every Egyptian home, the oldest son dies. From the king's magnificent palace to the poorest mud hut, there is crying and screaming and wailing that pierces the night. But in the houses marked with blood, the Israelite families are safe. The angel of death passes over them, just as God promised. The king wakes up to find his own son, his precious firstborn, dead and cold. All around him, people are crying, screaming, mourning. There is not one Egyptian house without someone dead. The king calls for Moses and Aaron in the middle of the night, his voice broken with grief. Gone is the proud, mighty ruler. Now he is just a broken man who has lost his beloved son. "Leave," he shouts through his tears. "Take your people and go. Take your animals, take everything, just go." The Egyptians are so terrified they throw gold and silver at the Israelites. "Here, take it, just leave quickly," they cry. The Great Escape. That night, under a star-filled sky, about 2 million Israelites leave Egypt. They carry their belongings, their crying babies, their hopes and dreams. They take the bones of Joseph, who died long ago in Egypt, but made them promise to take him home. After 430 years of slavery, 4 centuries of pain and suffering, they are finally, miraculously, wonderfully free. They walk through the night, a great river of people moving toward freedom. Behind them, Egypt burns and cries and mourns. Ahead of them lies the desert and a new life, a new beginning. God has kept his promise. The slaves are now free people.